Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Things I Learned from Barry Harris. And today I thought we would discuss this little cool thing that Barry does on a dominant scale, where he takes the triad of that dominant and he plays another triad a half step above it, major triad. So in this case we'll think G7. So if we think G7, we got G major triad, and we have also the triad that's a half step above it, which is A flat major triad. This is what he's doing. So he'll take G major triad, and he'll take A flat major triad. Now if you put those two things together in consecutive order, you have G, A flat, B, C, D, E flat. So if you go, there's your scale, 6-note scale. So now you got it. So if we invert it, now we start from the third. Invert. And then we're back to the first one. So if we play the whole thing, we would have really beautiful. And he does this run, he uses this primarily if we're going home to a minor. So for instance, he has this really great, he does a bunch of great ones, but especially on F7 going to a B flat minor in Round Midnight, he plays a beautiful run on that. But that's the first time I became aware of it. He does it in other spots too. But what he does too, he comes up with all different ways to play it like Barry usually does, which is what makes it really fun. So if you take this 6 notes, and let's figure out ways to break it apart. So like we could just go up it, which is what we did. We could go down, which is also pretty. Now, sometimes Barry does a thing where he plays one of the notes of the A flat triad and then right away to the note of the G triad. So he goes down a half step each time, which is pretty too. Really beautiful. Sometimes you could play the first one, skip the second one, and go right to the third one. Also pretty. Sometimes you could play the first one, go from G to A flat, and the second one you go, so now you're going to do the first from the G triad to the A flat triad. But then when you get to the third, you're going to go from the A flat triad to the D. So let's see what that sounds like. And then you could also do where you start on the G triad, go up to A flat, and then play another A flat, but skip the third, go right to the fifth. So you got, that's nice. So then you start from the third, from the fifth, sorry, from the root. Let's see what this is. Wow, those are pretty too. So you see how many ways that you can mess around with this one idea and come up with a million different things. What if we just did the A flat triad up and then just resolved on the note a half step higher from the last note of the triad, whichever note you land on. So if we say, then we'll invert, 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 invert. I love it. I love all of them. But now the question is, okay, how are we going to use it in a song? So we'll take something like, well, G7, the first song that I thought that comes to mind is There Will Never Be Another You, where it starts in E flat major, does E flat major for about 2 measures, then D minor 7 flat 5 for a measure, to G7 for a measure, going to C minor. Right there, that G7. So we could start to do it. So we'll say da, E. There it was. So let's try another one. That was just, I just played the scale down. So maybe I'll try to do one of the other little patterns. Let me try that A flat thing. Maybe try. I like that one. Let me try that. So. Yeah, I like that one too. How about if we play, oh, Barry does a nice one. Wait. Yeah, let me try that one. Let me try that one. So let's say da, dee, 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 da, dee, dee, yeah, those work really beautifully. So, I love that sound. Let me try that one. Wow. So it's just a thing to show you how Barry will take a little tiny thing of two triads and he'll come up with all these beautiful runs. Now he does these like fantastic lush runs of just like doing them a bunch of octaves. Like I think I've heard Pasquale do a bunch of them too, where he just does them like really fast up. So you do them like a bunch of octaves up, something like that, or whatever, even down. If I could do it fast. But once again, that's like a little tiny thing that you then use. Besides G7, you know, like most people on D half diminished G7, as Barry people, we think B flat 7 down to the third of G. That's one thing you can think of. You could think of, when you play D half diminished, you could think of B flat 7 down to the third of G7's tritone, which is D flat 7. Which is a nice one too. You could think of the whole tone scale. You could think of, I mean, a lot of things, but that's another little nice sound. That's another just beautiful sound that you can get in your arsenal. So, you know, it's not like Barry came up with that, but it's just something that I heard him play, and I thought it's interesting. It's just the 6-note scale and all the different things you could do with the 6-note scale, and how, after you learn it, you could be musical with it. And I mean, really, you could probably do it on it. Let's say, what if we were going to C major? So let's say we were playing. We could probably do something in there. I mean, you could use it going to a major. It's nice too. I mean, it's pretty going to a major too. I was only bringing up that Barry uses it primarily for minor because that's where I've heard him use it. But it shows you, you take one of the little ideas that maybe he shows you in class and you really try to do everything you can with it. That's what makes it so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed this short lesson in this little 6-note scale that consists of the 2 major triads, half step above or half step away from each other. Okay, until next time, thanks again.